shadow on the wall that looks like a man. Lord, that lamp just moved on that stand. I got movement in the cellars, I got footsteps in the hall. There's no time to waste, I better make some calls. I gotta get ready, make everything right, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. This old house has a long history. It should be real, real good for activity. And we got the house wired for sound and got motion alarms setting all around. Got a box full of batteries ready to go, and everyone's itching to start this show. Got our logo tees, driving black SUVs, and that one bald guy with a slick goatee. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team. Let's get started. Hey, this is your big brother Mike calling. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. That's right. Go get 'em, boys.
And hi everybody, welcome to Pema TV.
Welcome to the end of September. It is September 28th, 2012 already.
I think the more mature I become, the faster the time seems to go in the year.
It just means Santa's coming sooner.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about the Easter Bunny? Is he coming faster too?
No, the Great Pumpkin has to come first.
Oh, easy. Been an interesting week this week so far.
It's been a long week.
It kind of has. Lots of stuff going on over here at PEN. Please check us out every night. Schedule tab right up above. There's something on every night of the week. Several new shows coming. We had Lisa on Air started last night.
Yep.
Awesome new talk show. You have another one coming on Monday night on Ladies Night. Off the Wall with Becca Shugart. That's coming in a couple of weeks.
I can't think of who else.
If you're a busy paranormal investigator and are out roaming around most of the weekend, you can catch up on your sports here every Thursday night with the Man Cave Sports Show. And of course, always on Friday nights you can find Paranormal's Raw Truth right before us and then Pema TV.
Yep.
And don't forget to catch Mary and my lovely wife sitting here next to me. They do Just Saying on Monday nights. But I need to bring this up really quick. On Tuesday nights we do a show called Namaste Yoga. I have actually started doing the yoga. I haven't lost a whole lot of weight yet. I do feel better. I'm slightly more flexible, I feel like anyway.
And I enjoy listening to him moan from across the room.
As you can see from the link down below, I did start a group up on Facebook. To help everybody, if everybody wants to join in with me while I do this. I've reached a point where I have to do something to better my physical body. I'm pretty much every cliche there is for the ghost hunter. I don't have any hair. I have a goatee. I have tattoos. So I'm pretty much every cliche there is out there, and I'm round. And I'm going to try to change the round part.
And most of his wardrobe is black.
And that's very, yeah, but the black goes with everything. And when you're in Vegas and you're playing roulette. Never mind. So anyway, if you get a chance, please look us up on Facebook. Join us. Basically what I'm doing is I'm doing it on the show every day, doing the yoga every day. It is on our World TV player. If you look up here at the top of the website, there's some buttons across the top. One of them will say World TV. Our archives are there. I have left the Namaste Yoga as the first show that shows up, so it's the first thing that plays. Log in, do it every day. It's benefit your health and help keep you grounded. Being grounded is important as a paranormal investigator. But
so is being protected.
Mm-hmm. Without being round, I'm trying to get less round,
oval,
more eggish. I love you so much for that. But tonight,
now that he's done, I get to talk. Tonight we have a very lovely guest. She's all over the place. We've been to quite a few of the same locations, just at different times. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to meet in person, but that will change. Tonight, our guest is the founder of Jersey Girls Paranormal, Tracy Hultay. Tracy, are you with us?
I am. How are you?
Fine, and how are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
More than welcome. Thank you for being here.
Wow, that's a good picture of me right there. Doesn't even look like me.
We ask this of a lot of our guests. What got you motivated? What got you started?
If you'd have read her bio, no.
Actually, I grew up in a house that was built in 1845, and we had some activity going on growing up as kids, and I saw a couple things and heard a couple things, before it became trendy. And as we got older, we always kind of got into it, and my brother and I, we decided that we saw this ghost hunt in Eastern State Penitentiary in like 2007. So we said, let's check it out. Let's go. So we went, we ghost hunted there with another group, and we kind of took off since then.
Well, according to your bio, you and your mom had actually seen the same apparition in the house.
Yes, I saw a little boy, the same little boy. I saw him twice in one day. It was on a holiday, I remember it, but I saw him twice in one day, and then I saw an older gentleman look almost like a sea captain. And my mom had asked me one day if I had ever seen anything. And I said, why? And she says, well, I saw something the other day. And then she told me, but when she saw him, she described him the same way that I saw him, but she saw him holding a baby. He wasn't holding a baby when I saw him.
And you had said that you and your brother were both very interested in the paranormal. It's just Steve went a different way. Kind of.
Steve went a different way. Yeah, we had gotten into, I had read a blog years, I guess it was about 2006 maybe, and it was about a Frank's box, which is ghost box. It's very controversial, it's a broken radio basically that they say, you can use to communicate with spirits. A lot of people don't believe it, and I don't shove it down people's throats. I just ask to have an open mind. So I had seen this, and Steve was really big into EVPs at the time, and I sent him the blog, and he got into the research aspect of the ghost box, and he started building radios and figuring out how they work and how they can communicate with the spirits. And I wanted to kind of get out there and do things on locations because I like the history of things and stuff. So he kind of stayed with the research, and I formed the Jersey Girls, and he helps me. We do, we still investigate together, and we have a radio show too.
Right. Yeah, we're friends with Mr. Siapi who built the Joe's box. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's where my brother, I think, first contacted. That's how they first got started. That was the first box they built, the Joe's box.
Yeah, Joe tends to pop in here off and on.
Off and on, we'll catch Mr. Siapi in and out.
Oh, yeah?
And, bringing up Mr. Siapi, I know his motivations were very personal for doing it. Is that something that you feel should be important to a paranormal investigator, that they have, their motivations should be
their own, not
their
the TV?
Yeah, I mean, I can honestly tell you when I first started getting interested in investigating and stuff, it was like, oh, I can't wait to get evidence and I can't wait to find a ghost. And I really did it for like more the thrill of it. But in 2009, my dad passed away, and I kind of looked at it in a whole different realm. Like I was like I wanted to communicate, and I really wanted to know what happened, after we die. It wasn't all about like let's go get the ghost. I mean, it was fun to do that, but it meant a little different to me then.
Right. No, I completely understand that. Mine started when I was about 8 and saw the neighbor walking home one night 2 weeks after she had passed away.
Wow.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course I got the crazy, you're imagining things, you're dreaming, and go back to bed, so.
Oh, yeah. I mean, now it's so trendy now that people don't think you're crazy now. Now it's like, what? I want to see too, but
Well,
back
there's
then.
there's good and bad from the TV exposure, don't you think? I mean,
I watch the shows.
Yeah, I mean, it's made it to where I don't want to say it's water cooler talk, but it's water cooler talk now, where it's at least you're not going to get put in a bear hug kind of jacket if you tell people you believe in it anymore.
Right, and honestly, if you talk to anybody off the street that brought it up, so everybody has a ghost story.
Yeah, but you got to remember too the downside to it, in my furry opinion, is the fact that there's some things and some habits that it's teaching people that I don't think are going to be in the long term will be more detrimental than they'll be constructive at all.
Mm-hmm.
Provoking, that type of thing. I have no problem with somebody if you're going into like a jail or a prison and
Mm-hmm.
you talk a certain way, because that would have been the normal type of conversation carried on there.
Right.
You don't walk into a funeral home or a former funeral home yelling, screaming, cussing. That's the kind of provoking that I can't really I can't get behind that at all.
No, I'm against that because I always they were people. Just because they're not here in the physical plane, they're still people, and you still have to respect them the same way.
Well, my lovely wife put it really good about a year ago. She said, if these people were still alive at these locations, they'd be your great-grandparents or your great-great-grandparents, and you wouldn't talk to them that way. And if you do, we feel sorry for you already,
Right. Exactly.
Well, and quite frankly, our great-grandparents or our great-great-grandparents also believed in corporal punishment and would have hit us in the back of the head.
Point.
It's not all this, now, sweetie, you need to sit down for 2 minutes.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
Because I'm not mad at the kids. I'm mad at the parents for letting it happen. Tracy, Jersey girls, where and why?
I'm from Monmouth County, New Jersey, and I don't know. I guess back in the day when when CB radio was popular, my name on it was Jersey Girl, and I guess that's my friend. You should do Jersey Girls Paranormal. We just kind of switched up the lettering and went from there.
There you go. No, I was just curious. I mean, we're Paranormal Encounters Mid America.
Right.
So, for Pema. So yeah, I mean we were based in St. Louis when we started. I don't think you get much more Middle America than.
No, we're pretty much in St. Louis, dead center.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was just curious. I always like to know where people come from.
Right. There's so many groups everywhere. Well, there's a lot of groups in New Jersey, but there's so many paranormal groups everywhere.
Well, and you guys have been investigating for a while now, right? 4 or 5 years?
We started in 2007 to investigate.
Right.
I think Jersey Girls came around in 2009.
So 4 or 5 years at least.
Yeah.
Well, the reason, and specifically the reason that I ask, I want to know if you guys have run into this yet. When you go to like the large meet and greets, we actually went to Hannah House a couple of years ago, and we ran into a group. They had a tent. They had a 3x8 banner.
Mm-hmm.
They had trifolds and business cards and T-shirts for sale.
Hats, T-shirts, for also all this for sale, and then a table full of equipment, an 8-channel, an 8-camera DVR setup. I think they had 3 camcorders out there, multiple digital recorders, 2mm, flashlights out the wazoo. And when we asked them how long they've been doing it, they said that later tonight they planned on going on their first investigation. And that was really my response to.
I was just wondering if that's something you've run into up there. Now, don't get me wrong. It's great that the paranormal community is keeping the banner companies and the trifold companies and the business card people
And the T-shirts.
and the T-shirts and hat people employed. I'm all behind that. But we have a public relations nightmare going on with the paranormal right now.
Well, my thing is, spend a little bit, go out and see if you actually like it before, you go and spend your child's college education fund for all this equipment.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, equipment is fun. Don't get me wrong. There's some really great equipment out there, but you can really do it with a lot of basic stuff. You don't need to go all that crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was our point, especially since they don't even know if they're going to make it as a group. I mean,
We don't even know if they're still around.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there was about $1,500 worth of stuff. But that's what I'm saying. That's where I think we need to get away from it. We need to be serious. You need to be out there to help people, whether they're alive or dead. You need to be in this to help people.
Right. You're absolutely right. Even if, like, I had one of my friends come to me yesterday, and she said she's having trouble in her house with some activity and whatnot, but she's in Florida. So I'm like, well, I'm in Jersey, so I can't really help you. But I posted it. I don't know if you know Brandon Kreitzer, the past paranormal. He has like a lot of past family member groups, and Jersey Girls is one of them. So I posted on his group, and I got a group from Florida to help her. It's all about like helping people, and if I can't, somebody else should.
Yeah, the networking. Then Facebook does some good things.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, but some of them are really, really good, and some of them are questionable to say the least. But there are some good things it can do. The ability, like you said, to help people. I know Kim's done it either through the Pema page on Facebook or through the PEN pages on Facebook. There's been times.
I've done it through the Pema. I mean, like within 3 months, I got like 8 or 9 cases, but they were like all over the country, nowhere near me. So I was hitting Facebook hard. Okay, who's in this area?
And there's so many on Facebook.
Right, but
So many.
But when you get 12 volunteers, I go with the one that I've been talking to the longest because I kind of know they've been around longer.
Right.
And it's like, okay, here's the information. You get this one.
Mm-hmm.
And it has nothing. It's nothing against the rest of the people. It's just I don't know them as well, and I wouldn't recommend someone I haven't talked to or had any association with.
Oh, of course.
Well, you had mentioned, yes, I went through your website a little bit. You had mentioned that you guys like going out and working with other teams a lot.
Yes, I love it. Because I don't have a big team. It was me and my girlfriend, and I have a couple other girls. There's like 3 of us now because one of the other girls isn't with us. So it's very small, and I usually bring Steve on all my investigations. He does all kinds of the technical stuff that I can't do. But I love to work with other teams because I want to see what they bring to the table too, what they do, what kind of equipment they use, what I can learn from them, they can equally learn from us, and we work good together.
Yeah, it's all about teamwork.
It is. It really is. Yeah. And whatever they do, I might not do. I'm like, wow, that's a great idea. And then where I bring something, they're like, oh, we never used that. Let's try that. And you really do work good together.
Right.
I met so many people that way.
Even if it's something small and you just didn't think about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even like I think when I did EVP work, one of the groups I worked with, they used headphones in their recorder, which I never did. I would just carry around my recorder. But it amplified it so much better. I was like, why didn't I do this before? It's such a simple thing. Why didn't I ever do it before?
But there's a lot of people out there that aren't open to that. They're like, well, we're going to go out, and if we run into another team, well, they're going to do it the way I do it, or they're just not going to be there. No. That's the other. That's something we've got to stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'm very easygoing. You told me to go somewhere, I'm like, all right, where do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Right.
You want me to use?
Right. But I mean, that's been an issue. That's been an issue in the paranormal, I think.
Well, even up in Gettysburg last time, I have this fear of horses, a major fear of horses, and the team I was on that night was supposed to go into the barn. Well, I know there's a horse in there, a living horse. I'm not going out there. And everybody's like, okay, well, I don't know. Okay, we'll pull this person. And I'm like handing them all my equipment. Here, have fun. And they're like, what, take your equipment? Well, yeah, you don't have any. You don't have this. Take it. Use it.
Right.
But it was, yeah. And then they came back, and I'm like, okay, did you have fun? Yeah, but that horse is out there. Well, hello.
So wait, you were afraid of the horse?
Yeah, she's a major hippophobe.
Horses will eat you.
You sound like me and clowns. I hate clowns, but I don't mind looking for the dead.
Okay, I will go hunt your clowns, and you go hunt my horses.
All right, deal.
We got a
Oh,
deal.
Lord, there's not one circus safe between the two of you now. Tracy, I have to ask you this because we ask every one of our group guests that comes on that comes from a specific group. What do you think we're investigating when we're out there? What is your philosophy or your beliefs of what we're communicating with?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you really don't know. It's the truth. You don't. There's no definite proof. I mean, I can give you a sample. That I mean, I would like to think we are speaking to the spirits when we were using the ghost box, when we started using it, and everybody said it was a broken radio and blah 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 and all that, and we kept using it, and I did get answers from it, and I recorded and everything. But when my dad died, he knew what we were doing too, and I said to Steve, I said, "Do you think Dad will come through the box?" And he said, "I don't know." I said, "Let me tell you something. If I can get Dad to come through the box in his voice, which is pretty rare because they use the radio fragments and the frequencies, that if I can get him to come through in his voice, I will believe that this works." So it took me probably close to a month, and one of my last sessions, and I said, "All right, Dad, I don't hear you, and I'll try again later." And I said goodbye. And when I played it back, I didn't hear it at the time, but when I played the recording back, he said, "Bye, Gooch," which is exactly what he called me, and it was in his voice.
That's very cool, though.
So after that, I was like, it's got to work on some level. Everybody that heard it, that knew my dad, said, "Oh yes, that's him."
But in that the case though, and that's also a misconception to the general public. That you can everything we do happens in an hour. That's not. That ain't how it goes. But it's these little gems. It's those little gems like that. It's the little.
Yeah, and I never got them again. Truthfully, I mean, I've gotten different messages that pertain to stuff that I was trying to ask, or I would ask a question and it would be repeated of me, like questions pertaining to my dad. But just that one time, I got his voice, and that was what my initial thing was. If I can do this and get it, then I know that this communication, there's something to it, and it works. Mm-hmm. And that's what I hold on to because it's all I got for my belief.
See, she's also got an in. She knows this guy who makes the ghost box.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, my brother, he makes them. I test them. It's a good bond we got.
Older brother or younger brother?
Younger, not much younger though.
Oh, so you've been beating up on him for years. So he does it out of fear.
Well, I did until he learned karate when we were kids at that time.
Well, I know we've both been to the Shanley, not at the same time, but how much fun is the Shanley?
Love it. And the last time I was there was a year ago, this September, so I'm really aching to get back there. So when you guys go, I'm going to have to come with you.
We're looking at April or May.
Well, that's lots of time for me to plan. That's good. I would love it.
But yeah, what kind of experiences did you have up there? I mean, what we've had are little, but very in your face.
Well, I had a couple of different experiences there. The first time we went, I think it was July of 2009, I guess. We had gone out to the well where they say, Rosie had fallen and hit her head and everything. She was 4 years old. I don't know if anybody knows that. You guys know that.
Yes.
And we had done a ghost box session. We had asked if she was there, and we hear a little tiny voice, and she says, "Hi." And then we said, "Do you know what happened to you?" And she said, "Head." Oh. And it was a little girl's voice. And now I went back November of 2010, maybe. And no, I was 4 months. It must have been 2010, but it was 4 months apart. But I went out there again because we were being told from the box saying, well, kept saying, so we got to go outside. So we went out, we did it again, and I got her again. And I went home and compared my audio. It's the same voice, 4 months apart.
We ought to send her the mic. When we were there last Halloween, one of the guys was up in the front part of the bordello, that front bedroom type thing, sitting area type thing. Well, he had passed gas And when he did, you can hear this little girl just start giggling. And that's
no little girl. No,
there were no children there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's like, see, even she thinks that's nasty.
Yeah. The last time I was there, which was the year before that.
A year ago, last April.
Yeah, the year ago, last April, which is the only time I've been able to get up there.
We don't let them out much.
Yeah, well, there's that state laws and all. Anyway, when I was up there, we actually even did the Gonsfeld up there. Inside the chandelier.
The what?
The Gonsfeld experiment.
Oh, yeah?
Where you cover your eyes with the golf balls and it's the white noise.
It's
and
ping pong balls. Golf balls don't split.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, you could. It'd just be hard. And we had some fairly interesting results from all that, too. So that's the thing about, when we were up there, too, we also had the DVR. It didn't record for Mary and Steve with Truth Travelers, but we saw it.
Right. Up on the third floor in one of the front bedrooms where that chair sits.
Joe's room.
Joe's room, right.
Uh-huh.
We were watching the camera and the seat sunk like someone had sat on it, and you could see the shape of the back of their legs.
Wow.
And it's like four of us went, oh, holy crap. and
for some reason it didn't
running
record.
Upstairs, but it never, for some reason, something had stopped the recording part of that, of the DVR. Everything else worked.
Wow.
It just stopped recording.
Well,
But yeah,
if you want to hear something else, in that same room, we had gone up there, and I was with one guy, and there was another guy in the room next to it, which was Jonathan's room, the little boy's room. And we walked up, and I heard the loudest growl. And I said, did you hear that? And he said, yeah. And the other guy said, I heard it in here. And not one of our recorders picked it up.
Yeah, there's something about that third floor, because sometimes I can go up those steps, and other times I'll look at those steps and go, yeah, no, and go downstairs.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll be very honest. You can't really take your EMF readings for granted, because there's power lines right outside the windows.
Mm-hmm.
But what we saw was not EMF, was not an induced from somebody being in an EMF atmosphere. What we saw was, there's no other way to say it. It was PK. It was psychokinesis. It was something causing movement in this chair. Because you know as well as I do, there's no air controls running to that chair on the third floor.
No.
That could suck the padding down like it saw.
And you all saw it. That makes it.
Well, yeah.
Incredible. And it wasn't just one or two of us. There were
a group of us.
Yeah, there were quite a few of us, and we were watching off of two different computers on opposite ends of the meeting room.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's incredible, and that's something a lot of people don't understand too. Is when you start talking about seeing like vertical blinds moved and there's no breeze causing back behind it, or even if you go really old school and you start seeing flames flicker and that kind of stuff, that's psychokinesis. That's something from the other side, whether they're coming through a wormhole or however they're doing it. That's a serious event that you're witnessing. That's something manipulating this side of the veil.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once you eliminate all the other possibilities, even Sherlock Holmes said, once you account for everything that's accountable, you have to account for the impossible.
Right. Yeah, there's so much unexplained. It's strange.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, in the one room on the second floor in the corner, right by that one bathroom, that blue room, I stayed in there one night, and I woke up to some lady humming a tune to me. I was like, well, that's a nice way to wake up.
We had the room at the other end with the sunroom on it.
Oh, I stayed in there the first time I was there.
Okay, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. On the far side of the bed toward the windows, there's that nightstand right there.
Right.
We had taken our stuff up to the room, and I had taken my purse and shoved it between the bed and the nightstand. And I had gone downstairs, and everybody else was downstairs. Nobody was on the second or third floor at all. And one of our friends started to go up the steps, and she heard the bells. And I have these two little bitty bells on my purse. It's a Hello Kitty and a frog. Don't ask why they're there. They're just there.
Okay.
But she's like, I hear this noise. And she's like, those are your bells. And I'm like, Okay, they're on my purse. My purse is wedged. It's not going anywhere. We went up to my room, and the purse had been pulled out about 18 inches and then cocked sideways.
Wow.
So the bells that we heard actually were...
The bells on my purse.
Yeah. Her purse was being moved.
Well... They're not hard to...
It's a distinctive
you know the
sound.
sound.
Right.
It's a distinctive sound.
Right.
So,
Well, my mom actually stayed in that room. That's Esther's room, and I stayed out in the sunroom. But my mom had gone to bed earlier before we did. She was tired, and she said that she was sleeping, and she kept the light on. She was a little nervous to go to sleep, but eventually, after she drifted off to sleep, the light had gone off. Like they tucked her in and took care of her.
Mm-hmm. You get a very comfortable feeling in that room.
I sleep the best every time I go there. And I'm not good when I sleep out. I don't sleep real good, but when I'm at the Shanley, like, perfect.
Right.
Well, like the first time, you know, it was great. The second time when we went to sleep, But like we were discussing before the show, something up there apparently decided we were cold and cranked up 2 space heaters in that little bitty bordello room.
Wow.
And we woke up and there was a wasp going up the curtains, and it was like tropical jungle heat in there. It was crazy. We were burning up, and that was the morning the blizzard hit last year.
Oh, boy.
So it should have never been that hot in that room ever.
Oh, and if we're going to talk about the Shanley, I have to throw this shout out there for these guys. What's the name of the town that you have to drive through to get to Napanock? If you're in the Napanock general area,
Yeah?
look for the Zombie.
Oh, yes. That's over in Liberty.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's on the opposite side. I missed it last time.
Oh, those guys. Oh, not only is the coffee amazing, but just the whole layout of the place. I mean, they have like the etched mirror in their bathroom is actually like a psycho. It's like etched into the mirror is like the psycho shower curtain and stuff. Oh, it's cool.
Oh, my next time I go up there, I'm going to make sure I go early so I can stop there.
It's
I think it's in Liberty.
Liberty. I believe you are correct.
Mm-hmm.
But they're an awesome coffee house, and that's the one thing. That's the one thing I haven't seen a ghost hunting group try to get as a sponsor yet is either Red Bull or Monster or Maxwell House or Folgers. I'm surprised these guys aren't all over this because as a collective group, we're keeping these people, employed and profitable.
You're right.
But we did find the ultimate paranormal investigators, paranormal researchers coffee. We found this.
Oh my God.
We found this brand called Volt.
Yeah.
And it's vanilla vortex or supersonic cinnamon. This stuff is triple.
It's coffee?
It's coffee, and we got it at Walmart. It was on clearance, so we're like, "Oh, let's try it. Let's see if it's really does what it says," because it's supposed to be 3 times the caffeine.
Okay.
We had one guy down at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital, Steve Fricks. He drank about half a cup, and he's like, "My mohawk is buzzing."
Yeah, that's what he said. He'd actually just shaved it and just spiked it up, and it's about so tall, a couple inches tall, and he's sitting there about halfway through the glass, and I can just look at him until he's buzzing, and he's like, "I can feel it tingling." He's touching the top.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, 1 cup of that, and you're up for the night investigating.
How
wait. I do want to mention, because of her with the well, Rosie in the well. The only time I was out near the well was the first time we were there, and I was just walking around in the parking lot because I have this thing about collecting rocks everywhere I go.
Uh-huh.
And I found this really cool rock out by the well. And I took it inside, and I was showing it to Sal, and he's like, "Where did you get that?" I'm like, "On the parking lot out there by the well, And he's like, "No, you didn't. You brought that with you." I'm like, "No, I didn't." And what it actually wound up being is one of the bed stones that they used to put in
the bed warmers.
The iron things, put them in the stove, and then put them on the bed to warm it at night.
Oh, yeah.
It was actually one of those.
Wow.
He's like, "That should have never been." Yeah, you brought that with you, and I didn't. I found it outside.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, she's.
Do you ever, when you go there to Shanley, do you ever do stuff outside? Like, we've done, like, some, just EVP and stuff outside, because I think there's bodies buried there and stuff outside.
Well, last time we were there, we actually walked over to the old post office. Directly,
oh, you did?
Directly across the street, there's that 3-story brick.
Yes.
Right on the other side of that is the original post office.
Oh, okay.
So we were over there doing EVP and taking pictures through the windows and stuff.
Yeah, and
There's another one clicking in.
I like the Shanley. I would love to go in the buildings that are diagonally across the street.
Have you ever been to Sal's other house right up the street, the stone house?
No, we didn't get a chance.
Never had a chance.
I have. Take it. The last time I was there, he took us on a tour before we left the next day. It's awesome. I want to get in there.
Yeah. There's a whole lot of places. See, that's the one advantage you guys, especially back east, and I'm going to say you guys, being from Texas like I am.
He's going to say y'all.
Where y'all are from. But that's the one thing. There's so much history and things up there, up in that general area, but in the east, generally, just because there's been people there longer.
Yeah, we do have a lot of history, certain things. I love history. That's my one thing about investigating. I love the history of the places. So when you get any kind of evidence that goes along with that, it makes it all that more amazing.
Well, and it's really cool if you're doing the research on it and you find something that nobody remembers anymore.
Uh-huh. That's true.
We had an antique store we had been working with in Lebanon, Tennessee. And we were doing the history on it. The guy who owns it now, his dad owned it before him, and it was some other store before that. Well, we went all the way back, and it turned out that it originally was a general store, and the owner was murdered. But the whole story behind it is insane. I mean, it was a bunch of kids, and
the kid that was leading it was actually, the term that they used was mulatto, which if you don't know what that is that would have been a interracial child from back then.
Mm-hmm. But he was like between 14 and 16 years old, but he was the leader of this group, and the rest of the group were all white and in their 20s.
So you tell me who his father was.
In 1886.
In middle of Tennessee.
And he never went to jail for it.
Yeah. He was actually on censuses.
On the census.
For the next 2 censuses.
Mm-hmm.
He was on there for the next 2, which means he was out for 20 years. So he never served time that he was ever convicted of. So once again, who was his father? But you'd have never known that if you didn't do just a little bit of the historical research by going to the Hall of Records, yada, yada, yada.
Right. And the lady in the Hall of Records does not like us and does not want us in there to find out anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I mean, I'm sure you guys have run across stuff like that up your way all the time.
Yeah, there's a lot of. The one place we went to, the Proprietary House in Perth Amboy. We just went there recently. We went with another group who does some documentaries. He goes in first and he does the history of the place, and then the group goes in and we investigate, and then he makes a documentary out of it. And if anybody's on YouTube want to check him out, Visual Paranormal is the team, and he does some really good documentaries. So he does a lot of the history stuff, and then we go in and find some stuff to try to corroborate the history. It's pretty cool. And that was like the last royal governor's mansion in New Jersey. And it was a lot of different things. A hotel, it was like a boarding house, I think, and the governor's mansion. It was a lot of different things. So there's a lot of different history going on through it.
So you like having the history going in ahead of time?
Sometimes. I don't like to know the ghost story parts of it. Like, I don't want to know, like, oh, there's a woman in white in this room. Like, I don't want to know that. But I do like to know, like, what it was and what the building was.
Well, just from my point of view, I like to know if it's structurally sound, but then, I weigh 330 pounds. You have to think about those kind of things. You don't want to go walking into a weak floor. Seriously, you want to know what you're walking into before you get there.
Yeah, that's true. Like Eastern State. We went to Eastern State a few times, and it's a great place, but crumbling, it is a mess. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of areas we weren't allowed to go in because it wasn't structurally sound for us to go in. But it is definitely just a crumbling piece of whatever. But the history of that is fantastic, too.
Yeah.
I like going in with the history, but As far as the spirits go, if they really suspect a specific one, then I kind of like to have the name. That way I'm not sitting there going, is anybody here? What's your name?
Right.
That way I have a name to where I can use, and then if I get a response, it's better corroboration for me.
Right.
Or more confirmation, whatever, however you want to make it. Yeah, that thing. So do you have anything big planned? I thought I saw something on your page for March.
I think it might have been last March we did that. Next Saturday, we have this lady, her name is Karen Timber. She's from the New Jersey Ghost Organization, and she puts together a paranormal expo in New Jersey, and this is the 4th year, I think. It's little. It's in a little, like, Elks Club, and she heads it up, and me and Steve are going. We're going as the Paranormal Sibs, because that's our radio show, and we're going to have a table. We're going to try to do, like, a radio show from there, just interview the different guests and vendors. Just got vendors. They have psychics. They have lectures all day, and it's going to be a lot of fun, I think. So that's next Saturday. We're going to do that.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's neat. And all the proceeds and anything they make, any money, I think it's like $5 to get in. The lectures, I think the lectures are free. If you want a psychic reading, I think they're minimal. I think they're doing a seance at night for an extra $20. But all the money goes back into the lodge and for charities.
Well, let me ask you about your. I kind of think I already know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyway. How important do you think it is that the paranormal community should give back to the regular community? I mean, being involved with a benefit like what you're talking about, or
with the historic buildings and
helping with the historic sites.
Absolutely. I think it's fantastic. Like, actually, Steve's going to do, he's going to do ghost box tours at the event next week. At 1 and 3 o'clock, we're going to go around and take like a little group. I don't know if they're charging for that. I thought Steve said that they were going to charge like $3 a person, but whatever money we make, it's going to go back into the Elks Club.
Right, and that's like I said, it's just important that people know that you don't want to. We get such a black eye sometimes from people doing stupid stuff. That it's good that there's still groups of us out there that are trying to do the right thing with the community and help out with the benefits. Like everybody that's involved with the Paranormal Kicks Cancer.
Right. Oh yes, I saw that actually.
I mean, those guys are great, and they're not only are they raising a lot of money, they're raising a lot of awareness, and they're also giving people a way to get together. I mean, there's so many good things that are coming from it. I mean, I think it's just important that it be brought up that people need to be involved in the community as much as they possibly can.
Absolutely, I agree. And a lot of people, mostly nobody charges for an investigation.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with charging for investigations. And I go to a lot of. I'm not super big on doing like private residences. I'd rather go to like a bigger place.
Right.
And work with another team. But in those type of places, you kind of have to pay. But for the most part, like let's say Eastern State, the money that you pay to get into those goes towards the upkeep of the prison to keep it open. So to me, if it all goes to goes to a good place and people aren't just using it for whatever, then I definitely think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I concur. I don't mind paying to go somewhere if it's for a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you've also got to be careful, and you're correct. You do have to do some research because there are a lot of places out there that will just scam you.
Yes.
So I mean, people need to be smart about what they're doing, and don't be afraid to do a little research about where you're going. If you have questions, get on Facebook, ask if anybody's been there. You might be surprised the number of people that will respond.
Mm-hmm. Like the Shanley, old South Pittsburgh Hospital, all those places. Yeah.
Right.
We've been blessed to be involved with the Shanley, OSPH down there in Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. We can't talk highly enough of what those guys are doing down there. I mean, that is probably, if not the only, one of the very few research facilities because it just doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's structurally sound enough where you can go down there for the weekend. That's where you sleep.
You don't ever have to leave.
Yeah, you never have to leave.
Mm-hmm.
They'll lock you in. It's safe. The outside's covered with cameras. You don't have to worry about it.
How is that place? I've never been there.
Oh my God,
we love it. I've been there 7 times.
Holy crap!
Really?
Yes.
I mean, there is so much.
Far from me though. Pittsburgh's far.
No, this is in Tennessee.
This
It's
is
probably
in
even further than you
Tennessee.
think.
Isn't there one near me?
I don't.
Is that old Pittsburgh? That's a Tennessee?
No.
I thought it was one.
This is Old South Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
Okay.
It's about an hour north of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Gotcha.
But that place is amazing.
Well, then that's really far from me.
Yeah.
19 hours.
But it's an amazing amazing location. Extremely active. I can't talk highly enough. Like I said,
It's very clean,
very safe.
very safe. I mean, the people who run it are completely and totally awesome, and there is always something going on in that hospital. It basically, you've got a empty 68,000 square foot hospital that is now built on what used to be a slave plantation.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
That place is great. Like I said, I've been there 7 times. But it's really reasonable too. A lot of places are like, it's going to cost you $100 for 6 hours or whatever. It's something like $60 for 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But there aren't any like weak floors or
Holes in the floors or
all the doors and windows. There's only one set of windows that is broken. That's in the Ivy room, but we kind of just left it because it's the Ivy room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the Ivy's grown into the room, and that's why it's called the Ivy room.
I mean, they've got some plan. If they're able to do half of what they have planned there, once again, this is going to be one of the few places where, and I know Steve will appreciate this. That's one of the most difficult things is you want to do an experiment, but you want to be able to control the variables. Well, this is one of the few places you can go where the environmental variables won't change, so you have a lot more control over what's going on. Like if you wanted to do, just to talk about ITC for a second, you had a particular range that you only wanted to scan through. Well, the first trip you went down there, you could scan in that range. The next time you go down there, because it doesn't change, you could go to another range, and that's all you scan through, that type of thing. A lot of places you wouldn't be able to do that because either it's changing or the environment around it's changing. South Pittsburgh, Tennessee is one of those kind of towns that's kind of stuck. It's about as big. It doesn't have any more land to expand to, so it's about as big as it's ever going to get. It's going to kind of stay the way it is probably from now to the end of time.
And apparently Steve knows about it because he's like, they have the 24-hour cameras. Ghost Adventures has been there, and he's correct.
Yeah.
I remember it now that he said Ghost Adventures has been there because I do watch it. So yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Check the feeds out.
Yeah, the feeds are amazing. I mean, and that's also the other thing too. They're one of the few locations like that even offers that as for something for somebody to go watch.
Well, and they also offer it for the teams that go in because not only are they investigating, but you've also got the people sitting there watching who can say, okay, get over here to room whatever.
Yeah.
This is what's going on.
Or at such and such a time, we saw this. So, yeah, I mean, it's amazing. The way they have it set up, it's amazing. The way they have it set up and what they're doing, I wish there were more places like that.
Sounds like a great place.
With Jersey Girls, you were talking about having a very small team. Have you guys had a very, very large team and it just didn't work? Or
no, it's always been small. I actually prefer a smaller team. It gets too crazy when you have too many people.
Yeah, ours isn't very big. I started it 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's him and one other guy, Anthony.
Who's as big as I am, so she knows she's at least thinking about protection. But no, actually, I think she does it just because we can carry everything.
Well, yeah.
I prefer a small team seems so that I can work with other groups too, because
Right.
then it doesn't get too crazy. You got like my group and another group, then you got too many people. You know, you get a little group and you get together with a little group, then you have one good group.
Yeah.
Well, we've worked with a lot of
Oh, my
groups. We've
goodness.
probably worked with about 40 different groups so
Yeah.
far. And, you know, I can't speak highly enough about almost every single one of them. Everybody's
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
oh,
I can't say anything bad about the ones that I've worked with.
oh,
They're-
paranormal unity, there's no such thing. Well, it's the few that are not in it. I think overall there is paranormal unity because we can go out and work with so many different groups and have a great time.
Yeah, I've met so many great people that I'm friends with now, and I'm like, I love doing it just to get out there and meet great people along the way and have fun doing it.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing is, I've always kind of been a proponent, not so much for the unity, but just tolerance, because tolerance basically means just know when to shut up about people.
Right.
Seriously, that's where 90% of the drama gets stirred up anywhere, whether it's on a website or Facebook or Twitter or whatever. You know, it's when somebody, instead of looking at a picture of an orb and going, you know, well, that could be dust or moisture, and going, well, okay, the person thinks it's this, well, maybe it's not, but you don't say anything to them about it. You just walk away from it.
You know, you kind of give them other options, but when you have someone going, well, you're an idiot, don't you know how stupid that looks?
Can't you see the Archangel Michael in the picture of the moon? I mean,
There's no reason
it's
for
right
all
there.
that.
Can't you see all that? Oh my God! If you can't see that, you're an idiot.
And a lot of people out there do that. I hate to say it.
But that is the case. We've posted pictures on Facebook of snow. I used to smoke. I'm outside New Year's Eve,
Christmas
3
Eve.
Christmas Eve, 3 years ago, in St. Louis at the beginning of Snowmageddon. Smoking a cigarette on my back porch, taking a picture at night of snow. Guess what it looked like I had all over my picture?
Orbs.
Oh my God.
Orbs and ectoplasm.
I even posted that picture on Facebook on an orb group and said, this is snow and I was smoking. And I didn't even put a description. That's the first comment. It's snow and I was smoking. And there was like 9 comments below it that, oh my God, do you see the ectoplasm at the bottom of the picture? And oh my God, do you see all the angels? There's 50 of them in there, and Archangel Michael is, and oh my God! And all I did was type in their face palm. Because you can't help those people. Mm-hmm. You can't change the mind of a devout believer, and you can't change the mind of a diehard skeptic.
That's very true. You have to be a skeptical believer. That's the way
Absolutely.
So you have to learn to kind of walk away, or you're going to end up bruising your forehead and getting concussion, because if you look at Facebook too very long, that's all you'll do is face palm.
Yep.
So
Yeah, there is that.
yeah. But I mean, we're trying to slowly but surely. I mean, that's like one thing here at our network. You can see up on top. We want people to think. When people come here, I want them to be able to learn something. I want them to take something away and go think. Don't take what I say as being the gospel. Go look it up and do it yourself.
Absolutely, and that's why I think if you saw it on my website about the ghost box, I know how controversial that is. Mm-hmm. I know people get crazy, and I wrote on there, just all I ask is that you have an open mind. That's it. I'm not telling you that it is what it is. I'm telling you my experiences and take from it what you want. But if you choose to try it, then just go in with it with an open mind.
Absolutely, but they need to try it themselves. They don't need to.
That's right.
Assume because someone else said it 12 posts ago that what that 12 posts ago is saying is gospel. Go do it yourself.
That's right. I mean, I can honestly tell you when Steve first got one of his first ghost boxes, put it on, and he's like, "Oh, Trey, you got to come over. We got to listen to this." Well, what seemed to be like an eternity later, as I was falling asleep listening to this static mess that's coming out of it, I said, "You have to be kidding me. This is like a nightmare." And I boo-hooed it and made fun of it and everything. So I was over there one day, and he says, "Here, put this on. I'm going upstairs to take a shower. I want you to listen to this." Well, I was talking to it, and I was making fun of it. You're a broken radio, the whole thing. Well, it started calling me names. You know, I don't want to say them on the air because, you know, it's radio. But it was calling me some pretty bad names. I thought, well, I wouldn't think I would hear that on the radio. You know, I was like, this is weird. So I said, "Steve, you know what? I'm going to try this out. I'm going to go get one of them shack hack things and hack it for me, and I'm going to start doing it." And as soon as I turned it on, it said my name, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to keep trying. And I just kind of went from there.
Well,
I had to have the personal experience.
one of the first times I was ever around the scanning ITC stuff, we were up on the middle of a hill in rural Missouri helping another team with an investigation at a trailer house. And it was a single wide, so there was like 10 of us that were there. So you couldn't all 10 go in there, or all you catch was everybody walking around.
But most of the claims were at the top of the hill where they had spread her father's ashes.
Well, my nickname is the Yeti. Okay? Ever saw me without a shirt on, you know why. Anyway, but my nickname is the Yeti. Well, one of the first questions that they asked when we were up there is, we have another member that's here. Who was here that wasn't here last time? And it scanned for a minute, and then you hear it say, Yeti.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Eric's first experience with one of the boxes was actually quite comical. We were in Nowhere Land, Missouri, up on the west side of the state. First time any of us had ever messed with one of the boxes.
I forgot about this.
And we turned it on, and it would scan, and it would stop on the Twilight Zone, the Talking Tina episode.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd hit it again, and it'd scan, and it'd stop on Talking Tina. That's the only place it would stop.
We were so far away from the middle of everywhere that there was only about 3 stations that it could scan from.
And there were all AM stations
and they were
up
all
there.
AM stations, and like she said, the only one that had it was doing a radio replay of the Twilight Zone.
Oh, that's funny.
And he's sitting in the other room, taking a break. He's got an apple in one hand and cheese stick in the other. And we finally decided, okay, we're just going to take a break and see where Talking Tina goes here.
It was at a good part, damn it. You don't start scanning again at a good part. Hell, I want to know what the hell happened.
Well, hush! Well, anyway, the problem was every time we'd start it, it would stop. Well, now that we're into Talking Tina, it started scanning again. You hear from the other room behind us, "Bring back Talking Tina! Not fair!"
But I mean,
But what are the odds?
Do you remember what ghost box that was you were using?
Yes, we do. Actually, I do. It was one of the. It wasn't even the SB7. It was the cheap knockoff version of. It was called the Frank's box, Frank apostrophe S, and it came in a small black. Looks like what it would be called. What it would be an SB7 now. But it was a cheaper, a little bit larger, not as much.
It was like a generic fake box.
It wasn't a Radio Shack radio?
No, it wasn't a Hack Shack. It was actually called the Frank's box.
But it wasn't Frank
Sumption's box. It was a little,
It was something one of our
POS.
teammates had got off of eBay or something for like
$10,
yeah.
Oh, because I know that there's one radio from Radio Shack. I don't know which one it is. Steve would know better. I want to say it's the Sangean, but it scans and it stops. Every time. You have to almost restart it. It does kind of stop every time at the same spot.
Well, that's what this one was doing, but once he finally got into Talking Tina, it decided no more of that and then started scanning constantly.
Yeah.
Funny.
But it was funny because it was like our second residential.
Well, and I mean, we started off with go ahead.
It was our second residential investigation ever. We had been. It was like 3 hours from our house. This guy's telling us, constantly about all this activity and everything, and we got to get up there. His family's traumatized. He's getting ready to move, the whole 9 yards. We get up there. He's like, okay, I have problems here, and here, and we're heading to Georgia. See you Tuesday. And he left. No keys to lock the place up. He had, 5 flat screens and 12 computers, and he just left.
Wow.
And we got stuck with Talking Tina and another blizzard.
Yeah, but we were actually trying. What I was going to say was we were actually trying to be serious about it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's sitting in the middle of a table. There's like 5 of us in on the couch and everything. We were kind of taking a break, but once we started, there were recorders around it, the whole 9 yards, and we're like, "Is there anyone here that'd like to talk to us?"
And it kept saying Steve.
Yeah, and then it would say, "Shh, I'm Talking Tina, and I'm here to kill you." It's hard to stay serious when it starts happening that way,
Yeah.
But anyway, we are like at the end here. Unfortunately, The hour goes so fast.
It does.
Where can our viewers find you at?
You can go to, I have a website, jerseygirlsparanormal.com with Z's, not S's. And we also, me and Steve have our Paranormal Civ show, and our podcasts are on my website, and they're also on Steve's. And we're on Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock on the Steve Hultay network, stevehultay.com.
Awesome.
And you Twitter, Facebook,
Oh yeah, I'm on Facebook, Jersey Girls Paranormal. I have a page on Facebook, and I do have Twitter, but just under my name. I don't understand Twitter.
Me either.
I don't really get it either. I tweet often.
I could do Facebook like with my eyes closed, but Twitter, I'm so confused.
I think it's kind of like Facebook, just not as many cat pictures.
And I don't know how to respond to cat pictures.
Well, the problem is they're like, okay, what's on your mind? And then when you go to type, they're like, sorry, you used more than 40 letters. Can't use it.
Yeah.
Well, my mind is longer than this.
Yeah. It is. It's. I kind of sort of get it, and I kind of sort of don't. I don't understand the whole hashtag thing either.
I don't either. And you know what? Every couple months, I dive into Twitter, and I'm like, this is the time. I'm going to figure it out. And then I do it for like a week, and then I say, oh, forget it. Yeah. And then a couple months, I'll go back again.
I'll make a random post there every now and again. But once you tie everything together, nowadays, once you tie everything together, when you post in one, you can set it up to post in all three. And
yeah, if I post on Twitter, it'll go to Twitter and Facebook, but not the other way around.
Right.
That's because Facebook's greedy like that.
Yep.
They want to keep all the posts to themselves. But we definitely need to get together April, May?
Yes, absolutely. Keep me in mind for sure. I definitely would love to go back to Shelly.
Oh, definitely.
Because
we've got something in the works, and once we get a date,
nudge, nudge.
Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Once we get a date, I will definitely fill you in.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Well, Tracy, we'd like to thank you so very much.
Thank you.
You've been fun.
Thanks. I try. Thank you for inviting me on. It was great.
Oh, our
You're
pleasure.
More than welcome.
Our pleasure. And just real quick before we jet out here, tune in about an hour, and you can find me on Yeti Radio on the Uber Radio Network.
Yeah.
Just my musical dyslexia, but come join us. And with that, I think we're out of here.
We're out of here. Have a great night. Have a great weekend.
If you go researching, be safe. Bye, guys. And of course, always on Friday nights, you can find Paranormal Raw Tuesday right before us, and then Pema TV.
Yep.
And don't forget to catch Mary and my lovely wife sitting here next to me. They do Just Saying on Monday nights. But I need to bring this up really quick. On Tuesday nights, we do a show called Namaste Yoga. I have actually started doing the yoga. I haven't lost a whole lot of weight yet. I do feel better. I'm slightly more flexible, I feel like, anyway.
And I enjoy listening to a moan from across the room.
As you can see from the link down below, I did start a group up on Facebook. To help everybody, if everybody wants to join in with me while I do this, I've reached a point where I have to do something to better my physical body. I'm pretty much every cliche there is for the ghost hunter. I don't have any hair. I have a goatee. I have tattoos. So I'm pretty much every cliche there is out there, and I'm round. And I'm going to try to change the round part.
And most of his wardrobe is black.
And well, that's very, yeah, but the black goes with everything. And when you're in Vegas and you're playing roulette. Never mind. So anyway, if you get a chance, please look us up on Facebook. Join us. Basically what I'm doing is I'm doing it on the show every day, doing the yoga every day. It is on our World TV player. If you look up here at the top of the website, there's some buttons across the top. One of them will say World TV. Our archives are there. I have left the Namaste Yoga as the first show that shows up, so it's the first thing that plays. Log in, do it every day. It's benefit your health and help keep you grounded. Being grounded is important as a paranormal investigator. But
so is being protected.
Mm-hmm. Without being round. I'm trying to get less round.
Oval.
More eggish. I love you so much.
Hey, this is Brother Mike. Well, there's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. Hey, round up the teams, let's get started. Hey, this is your big brother Mike calling. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are ghost hunting tonight. That's right. Go get 'em, boys!
And hi, everybody. Welcome to Pema TV.
Welcome to the end of September. It is September 28th, 2012 already.
I think the more mature I become, the faster the time seems to go in the year.
It just means Santa's coming sooner.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What about the Easter Bunny? Is he coming faster too?
No, the Great Pumpkin has to come first.
Oh, easy. Been an interesting week this week, so far.
It's been a long week.
It kind of has. Lots of stuff going on over here at PEN. Please check us out every night. Schedule tab right up above. There's something on every night of the week. Several new shows coming. We had Lisa on Air started last night.
Yep.
Awesome new talk show. You have another one coming on Monday night on Ladies Night. Off the Wall with Becca Shugart. That's coming in a couple of weeks.
I can't think of who else.
If you're a busy paranormal investigator and are out roaming around most of the weekend, you can catch up on your sports here every Thursday night with the Man Cave Sports Show. For that. But tonight, now that he's done, I get to talk. Tonight we have a very lovely guest. She's all over the place. We've been to quite a few of the same locations, just at different times. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to meet in person, but that will change. Tonight, our guest is the founder of Jersey Girls Paranormal, Tracy Hultay. Tracy, are you with us?
I am. How are you?
Fine, and how are you?
Great. Thanks for having me.
More than welcome. Thank you for being here.
Wow, that's a good picture of me right there. Doesn't even look like me.
We ask this of a lot of our guests. What got you motivated? What got you started?
If you'd have read her bio, no.
Actually, I grew up in a house that was built in 1845, and we had some activity going on growing up as kids, and I saw a couple things and heard a couple things, before it became trendy. And as we got older, we always kind of got into it, and my brother and I, we decided that we saw this ghost hunt in Eastern State Penitentiary in like 2007. So we said, let's check it out, let's go. So we went, we ghost hunted there with another group, and we kind of took off since then.
Well, according to your bio, you and your mom had actually seen the same apparition in the house.
Yes, I saw a little boy, the same little boy. I saw him twice in one day. It was on a holiday, I remember it, but I saw him twice in one day, and then I saw an older gentleman look almost like a sea captain. And my mom had asked me one day if I had ever seen anything. And I said, why? And she says, well, I saw something the other day. And then she told me, but when she saw him, she described him the same way that I saw him, but she saw him holding a baby. He wasn't holding a baby when I saw him.
And you had said that you and your brother were both very interested in the paranormal. It's just Steve went a different way, kind of.
Steve went a different way. Yeah, we had gotten into... I had read a blog years, I guess it was about 2006 maybe, and it was about a Frank's box, which is ghost box. It's very controversial, it's a broken radio basically that they say, you can use to communicate with spirits. A lot of people don't believe it, and I don't shove it down people's throats. I just ask to have an open mind. So I had seen this, and Steve was really big into EVPs at the time, and I sent him the blog, and he got into the research aspect of the ghost box, and he started building radios and figuring out how they work and how they can communicate with the spirits. And I wanted to kind of get out there and do things on locations because I like the history of things and stuff. So he kind of stayed with the research, and I formed the Jersey Girls, and he helps me. We do, we still investigate together, and we have a radio show too.
Right. Yeah, we're friends with Mr. Siapi who built the Joe's box. So.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's where my brother, I think, first contacted. That's how they first got started. That was the first box they built, the Joe's box.
Yeah, Joe tends to pop in here off and on.
Off and on, we'll catch Mr. Siapi in and out.
Oh, yeah?
And, bringing up Mr. Siapi, I know his motivations were very personal for doing it. Is that something that you feel should be important to a paranormal investigator, that they have their motivations should be
their own, not
their
the TV?
Yeah, I mean, I can honestly tell you when I first started getting interested in investigating and stuff, it was like, oh, I can't wait to get evidence and I can't wait to find a ghost. And I really did it for like more the thrill of it. But in 2009, my dad passed away, and I kind of looked at it in a whole different realm. Like I was like, I wanted to communicate, and I really wanted to know what happened, after we die. It wasn't all about like, let's go get the ghost.
Shadow on the wall that looks like a man. Lord, that lamp just moved on that stand. I got movement in the cellars, I got footsteps in the hall. There's no time to waste, I better make some calls. I gotta get ready, make everything right, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. Hey, round up the team, let's get started. Hey, this is Brother Mike. There's a party and you're invited. We got the camera set, let's turn off these lights, 'cause all my rowdy friends are goes hunting tonight. This old house has a long history. It should be real, real good for activity. And we got the house wired for sound and got motion alarms setting all around. Got a box full of batteries ready to go, and everyone's itching to start this show. Got our logo tees, driving black SUVs, and that one bald guy with a slick goatee.